I think the current business model in the music industry is broken because it puts all this pressure. Basically, you have to perform. The only way to make any money is to perform, right? Or to do like high profile remixes, which most of the time are only done by people who have, high performing DJ sort of cachet. So if you think about it, it's essentially profile based, and way to get profile seems to be very limited. It's just basically, high amount of press coverage, maybe some kind of scandals, some kind of, online shit, etc. And I think there's not much creativity around, is there? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't see where's the DJs being creative. Where's the, you get someone like Techie Latex, who's a great DJ, but everyone's like, oh my God, 3 decks. And I mean, I remember back in the day, people would be on 5 decks or
yeah.
It's like the base level of what being a DJ is just kind of evaporated.
Well, I think, mate, look, I think now with this whole crisis, that it feels like a lot of the hype is going to be dismantled, like the stuff that, you know what I mean? Like where it's, because in any field or any industry, it's just like gone straight to it's blown right out of proportion. The whole influencer DJ. And don't get me wrong, I'm not to say that some people are very clever with the way they've used the whole influencer role and they're amazing artists at the same time. So if they can marry those two together, they're well done, But there are a lot of people out there that are just riding off the hype machine, So that just brings me to the next thing I wanted to say, like what are your thoughts with this extreme need for everyone to get on with this whole digital age of business and communication now?
Well, I think it's interesting, isn't it, that because of the crisis, that I feel slightly concerned that it's just pushed us more into an internet world, and it's like we can't actually legally, really socialize anymore, So I'm a little bit concerned that because in the end, it pretty much looks like, this is going to be like, well, this is probably going to be normal life one day, because there's probably going to be more new viruses that they don't have cures for. So, I mean, that slightly concerns me. But I suppose in the end, it also creates new opportunities to connect with people, like, for example, mentoring. And
I wanted to touch on that. I wanted to touch on that a bit later.
Yeah. I mean, like, look, you've got to embrace it, haven't you? I mean, I think I have a tendency sometimes to sort of, hark back to the good old days and all that. So this is definitely dragging me further into the future. I've got a lot of things that I'm doing right now, James, which I know it sounds like a cliche. I'd love to tell you about, but I don't want to say. But I've got some technical support, which is really good. I've got some friends who are like real techie nerd people.
Oh, that's great. I've got a couple of those. I've got a couple of those guys.
And they've suddenly stepped into my life. And I mean, I've known them for years, but we're really talking every day. And, they're trying to provide me with some technical support, because I know what I want to do, right? And I know how to do it. But with the internet and with all these different software packages and all that, I mean, I'm not like some complete, I know how to use computers, but I'm not a programmer,
Sure. So
yeah,
it's great. I mean, I've been having some great support from people, even to get this new podcast and this new business that I'm trying to do around it, and it's a new world. So this is part of it, and And so, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, like, we're reconnecting because of technology and circumstance.
Yeah. Well, that's right. We spoke back in February.
Page. I'm so on that page now, James, because at the end of the day, I don't want to be some kind of elder statesman. I mean, I hate seeing veteran and shit like that. It's like, I'm not a veteran. I'm only 43. Like, he was in the war, but I want to, I know there's many people in the world who share the same tastes as me and who share the same vision and ethos, and I want to connect with them. I want to build a community, and I want the community to about the celebration and
I'm all for it.
fascination of dance music,
Yeah.
like
Yes,
the
yes.
music, the freedom, the hedonism, the kind of, the misfits, it's like when I was into dance music in the 90s, it wasn't loads of cool people swanning around, it wasn't like
No.
that at all. It was quite punk, it was
Yes,
dirty,
yes.
it was,
Yep.
you were an outlaw, and the music reflected that,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Totally
have
agree.
you noticed, by the way, there's now, whenever I go on YouTube, there's these like music software, like loop pack adverts that I get, obviously because of the algorithm, right? And my favorite one is when I'm using loops, they have to sound like me. When I'm using someone else's pre-created fake music tool, it has to sound like me. It's like, dude, you know what I mean? Like, so there's a whole industry now of they're trying to basically make it so that you don't have to have. There's another one where the guy's like, hey, if you've got no musical knowledge like me, you can still, and it's like, I'm not being funny, but being styled like a music producer, the old KRKs, etc.
Yeah.
I'm not just in KRKs, but they always have KRKs. It's like, minimum investment.